where it was a balmy 86 degrees today, and I'm at a public meeting here, and myself and others are going to be speaking. So let's get into the meeting. Let's get into that meeting where they made it illegal to be anywhere but like exactly in front of the podium. That's a new law they just passed because there were some people who were creatively expressing their constitutional rights in creative ways, dancing and singing and moving. Oh, what a cool place this is. Look at this. Look at the room here. It's like old church. I can feel the power of the Spirit. Let me turn this around. Hey, welcome everybody. I didn't realize the video was facing the wrong way. All right. And so, here, I'm going to put this, one of my microphones on the podium, the lectern here. Okay. Okay, so I got a microphone on the lectern. It's not a podium. They keep calling it a podium. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so glad to see you all. And this is a really cool building. And the mayor, her name is Karen Kathleen Miller Prunty. And she recently declared, because people were singing and dancing as part of their expression of their First Amendment rights, and she said, this is not, oh yeah, go ahead. And she said, this is not a nightclub. This is not a karaoke bar. This is not a comedy club. Well, however someone wants to express themselves is up to them. And that's the bottom line. And if they want to use comedy, if they want to dance, if they want to be silent. Hey, Joe Black, hello there. And please smash that like button on your way in. Frank Pants, great to see you 2 times in a row here. And the exposure report, the town needs an enema. Hey, look who we have. Look who just floated in from Alpha Centauri. Teleportated. That's not even a word. Teleported. What do you want to say to everybody?
We're here live in Cranford for Will Philly's dance party protest number 10.
Is he here?
He's here. I saw him. And it should be a good one. Meeting starts in just a couple of minutes. It's about 7:30 right now. So what's been happening here in Cranford is the committee continues to disrupt the meeting by calling a recess during Will's speaking time. A speaker cannot disrupt a meeting during their time. So they wind up violating his First Amendment rights. They violate the OPMA, First Amendment of the United States Constitution, New Jersey State Constitution, and they disrupt the meeting to do it. So.
Right, and I was arrested and accused of disrupting the meeting while I was speaking during my public comment time. You're welcome. Now they have another, again, it's not a podium, it's a lectern. Hey, Mike, that's a lectern. Can we speak from that one? They did not delineate which lectern we need to be at.
If they're calling it a podium, the only podium I see is this.
Right. They call it a podium. A podium is a raised platform. No, that's.
Could you imagine trying to argue an interchangeable term in like a legal binding document in court? Could you imagine telling the judge that you meant this, but you said that? Words matter.
Right, well, they do. Like, imagine if a doctor was supposed to operate on a person's arm and amputate it, but they actually amputated their head. Right. Words matter. No, but arm, you knew I meant head, or vice versa. So, but this is a great place here. I mean, look at this. It's like an old school Amish religious place. And this reminds me of Little House on the Prairie. And I'm looking for Laura Ingalls and Pa and Ma. And public speaking is in the beginning of these meetings, by the way, which is way better. So you don't have to wade through 15 hours of people blathering on and on and on about nothing. And the council members, what we have here, take a look here. We got visitors. We have visitors. Okay, let's see. So smash the like button, everybody. Please share.
What we got here, guys? We got Leroy in the house.
Hey, we got, by the way, social justice water pipe. I keep calling him social justice warrior.
Social justice water pipe.
Water
Follow
pipe.
me. Like, share, and subscribe on YouTube.
He is a social justice warrior as well. Stay tuned. I got a video on featuring him on tomorrow, dropping at 11 a.m. Patricia Walden, thank you. And I've been told by numerous subscribers that YouTube is not. Where did I lost a microphone. Let's see. I got a missing mic. Hey, Mikey, I got a missing mic. I'm gonna look for it. Can you keep them entertained while I'm?
Yes,
here?
absolutely. Yeah, so we're here in Cranford for the committee meeting, also known as the Dance Party Number 10. Now, if you see, that's Will. That's Will right there, and the police are obviously speaking to him. The last probably 5 or 6 meetings in a row, they've called a recess during his time, which disrupts the meeting. They're the ones who are disrupting the meeting. So the police are speaking to Will right now, and we are about to get started. And happy all you guys are joining us here today. And follow me on YouTube, Social Justice Water Pipe. And the last video that I did on YouTube had like just under 100,000 views on Cranford. My last video on Cranford. People were they were so outraged over the way that this committee behaved. 100,000 views on YouTube and 1.8 thousand comments. So hopefully they'll behave a little bit better today, and they won't disrupt the meeting, hopefully, but we shall see. If they do it, it'll be maybe, I think, 6 times in a row. Okay, meeting's getting called to order.
I found it. Thank you, Mikey. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle up.
This meeting is in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Exact notice of this meeting has been provided by email and the annual scheduled meeting to the Westfield Leader, the Union County Local Source, the Star Ledger, Chapel of Cranford.
It's a very echoey building, ladies and gentlemen.
On the bulletin board in the municipal building reserved for such announcements, and the filing of said notice with the township clerk of Cranford. Formal action will be taken at this meeting. Roll call. Mayor Bill Huntley. Here. Deputy Mayor Dowell.
Here.
Commissioner Andrews.
Here.
Commissioner Curran.
Here.
Commissioner Black. Here. Please rise for the invocation and flag salute.
Not only does March bring upon us St. Patrick's Day celebrations, but March is also Women's History Month. When searching for a meaningful quote to mark this occasion, I came across one from former First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt, who said, "I am who I am today because of the choices I made yesterday." All of us are a product of our past experiences. To me, this means that if you make smart choices in life, your future will be bright. What about the bad choices? These too can lead to a bright future, as we can learn from our mistakes and strive for greatness. Could I have changed some choices early in life? Absolutely. Would I make those changes? Absolutely not. Some things may have been very hard early on in life, for myself and others, but it's a part of what makes me me, and a part of what makes you you. I hope that you're all happy in your lives, and should you make a bad choice, or have made one in the past, know that we can all learn from them and work to better ourselves moving forward. Thank you.
The microphone doesn't seem to be on. The microphone he was using wasn't on. I just found out there's going to be a sing-along with Will Dilly. Will Dilly went really viral. Ooh, they have a special lectern there.
Proclamation this evening to recognize Women's History Month. Whereas throughout history, the vision and achievements of women have strengthened our nation, our state, and our very own community.
The mic is not working, or it's not loud enough. I can barely hear her.
Long storied history of great women, helping to realize our nation's founding promise and our community's highest aspirations. May we all continue working to build a world worthy of the dreams and goals of all women and all girls. Now, therefore, I, Kathleen Miller Fronting, Mayor of Cranford, do hereby proclaim March 2026 as Women's History Month. I call on everyone to celebrate the contributions of women around the world, in this country, and in our very own community. Now I'd like to recognize actually a very special woman right here in Cranford. Mr. Susan Lackey was recently named the Union County Educational Support Professional of the Year. So I'd like to read you a letter to her. Dear Mrs. Lackey, on behalf of the Township Committee, I extend our congratulations on being named Union County Educational Support Professional of the Year. We are so proud and grateful that you are part of the Cranford Public Schools. Your work for many years with the Interact and Rotary Club at Cranford High School has been described as nothing short of magical and inspirational. Your drive and care to help our students lead initiatives inside and outside the Cranford School District did not go unnoticed, nor has your work with the Cranford Rotary Club. You are a true role model of excellence in all that you do for others. We greatly appreciate your many years of commitment and dedication to the students in our community.
That's the mayor. Can you hear anything? Put a 1 if you can hear them. Put a 0 if you can not hear them.
One of the items on the agenda this evening is the appointment of the Centennial Property Task Force.
And the mayor said, "Oh, it's important to speak in front of the lectern. They have this new law. You must, otherwise you get arrested. Because we have microphones that work,
Temporary task force,
and they don't."
essentially a brainstorm. And we, rather than come up with ideas ourselves, we ask residents. We have 9 residents who represent various parts of town, different ages, different backgrounds, different expertise and experience. They are charged with identifying potential uses of the Centennial Pool property should the closure be permanent. As I mentioned last night, Commissioner Tina Black and Commissioner Terrence Kernan and I worked together to put together the names for this group. As I said, it's a temporary group. They will be charged, asked to come up with ideas for the property, as I said, should the closure be permanent. They are not making recommendations about what to be done. They are not making decisions about what to be done. They are merely putting together a document of ideas and possibilities for the site. That will come to the Township Committee where it will be discussed, I'm sure not once, but many times, publicly. So I just want to make sure everyone understands what this group is. They are not responsible for pool management, pool status, or anything else, just come up with potential uses for that. So we'll move on to public safety.
Thank you, Mayor. A few updates this evening. I want to start out tonight just by wishing Detective Chris Holmes well in his retirement. While it's unfortunate that he had to retire early in his career, I just wanted him and his family to know that myself, this committee, and the entire town appreciate his dedication to the Cranford Police Department and to our community. Additionally, I want to offer my well wishes to both communications officers and
Welcome, everyone.
traffic maintenance foreman, Joseph Corsiero, on their respective retirements as well. Congratulations to Janet Sparcigo on her appointment as Executive Secretary of the Cranford Police Department. And of note, the police department will be participating in the Keene University Job Fair tomorrow and anticipates holding an entry-level process sometime.
Hello, Tyrant Auditor, George, Jody, Pet, Brian Goldberg, Blue Light Transparency, Frank Pants, of course, East Carbon, Exposure Report, AV Designs. Please subscribe to both of them on YouTube.
Please stay tuned for that job posting announcement as well. Lastly, from two more things from the police department.
Stay tuned. Public comments are going to be coming up. And Mikey and Will Philly are going to have very creative public comments. There could be a sing-along to Sweet Caroline coming up very soon. Even though you can't hear, stay with me here.
Monthly arrest warrant. It's dated this past January. Members of the public, they now view the most recent February monthly arrest warrant that was released a week ago. Onto the fire department, they are selling green T-shirts during the month of March in an effort to raise money for family care.
Can you hear them at all?
Local families facing food insecurity. Community members are encouraged to wear
Hello, George Daly.
not only to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, but to also show support for local families in need. If interested, these shirts can be purchased at their fundraiser web store at https://stores.shopjillies.com.
They probably have no sign language.
_fundraiser. And lastly, the fire department is again partnered.
Yes, I'm still looking for Ming Ling. Ming Ling could be here. Bart.
Any resident needing assistance may access this program. Smoke alarms can be installed during a pre-scheduled visit or by on-duty staff who, while on a call, encounter a home with no working smoke alarms. The American Red Cross has supplied all the smoke alarms for this program, so please contact our headquarters at 908-709-73.
I just asked the police to turn it up, and I'm not sure if they did. He was talking louder.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so we'll get the newsletter and do it just to be recorded.
Okay, good evening. So it seems like we went from the dead of winter to the middle of summer in 24 hours, but it looks like we're going to have some good weather this weekend for the second annual Cranford St. Patrick's Day Parade. And, you know, it's really not only the Cranford St. Patrick's Day Parade, there's also the Union County St. Patrick's Day Parade on Saturday. There's a couple of one-block parades here in Cranford, one on Flory Street and one on Belmont. There's a senior St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, thank you, Bart. Public comments are coming up in like 5 minutes.
More than just a celebration of Irish heritage, it's really about the celebration of the community. And as we like to say, everybody is Irish on St. Patrick's Day. So we encourage people to come out, enjoy themselves responsibly, have a good time, and we look forward to a great parade. The couple resolutions on tonight, resolution 139, 140, and 141, contracts to help with the renovation of our Jeffrey Pool, and we'll have more on as the spring progresses so that we're ready to open for the fall. And finally, I'd like to offer my congratulations to Sandana Jones on her next step in her career. She is leaving Cranford, but we're very glad that she is moving along. The retirement of Detective Chris Follins, we do appreciate.
Yeah, so he has good audio. It'd be good if we could mix our audio together.
The township, and hope that we can enjoy his retirement.
Yeah, they don't have fun and they have no sense of humor, everybody. And the exposure report, you see TSA agents smile more.
Hopefully Sarah, who's also retired from the Cranford Police Department. So congratulations on your retirement, and we hope you have a good. That's all I have.
Thanks, Mayor. Just a couple items for me this evening. First, we continue to advance our all-of-the-above flood mitigation strategy, including with a measure that we're voting on a little bit later tonight. This pertains to the large Southside flood mitigation project. Don, can you pull up the graphic real quick around this project? So folks have probably seen this before. We've been talking about this for the past several years. This was actually under the leadership of then Mayor Kathleen Leroy when she was first served mayor a few years ago. As many parts in town, our downtown does not have sufficient stormwater infrastructure. So we get these storms that all of a sudden South Avenue is a river, particularly around Chestnut, particularly around Walnut. These are like the flashy floody storms. And we want to do something with that. And so we devised a express storm sewer plan that would alleviate this kind of flash flood water events that we see with all too much regularity in the area. This has impacted residents, it's impacted businesses in the area, and the general public. It
drain the swamp, Bart.
And this is now well north of Twice we benefited from $1.8 million from the state of New Jersey. We also received $500,000 from the county of Union to support this project, as well as money from Iron Ore, which is doing the project in the area. But unfortunately, it's still not enough to do the full project that we had intended. Now, we don't want to just sit on this money, and we want to capture at least some of the benefits. And so what we decided to do is split the project into two halves. So phase one, we are going to be approving essentially tonight, the contractor that bid on it. It is going to be installing stormwater infrastructure on Chestnut Street from Broadway River to Walnut Avenue, as well as High Street and the intersection of Chestnut. It's fully funded and it's slated to start fairly soon. So this is obviously positive development. Phase two is still kind of outstanding. You can see that on kind of the higher blue part on the south. We are actively looking for additional outside sources of funding that would be able to help us finish this project. We will still get benefits even doing the first half, so that's why we're eager to move this forward as quickly as we can, but we do want to capture everything. Now, of course, this is just one step in terms of all the flood efforts that we have going on. We are actively involved in home buyouts in flood-prone areas. We are creating state permits for desilting the river. This will be restoring the natural riverbed in strategic locations identified by our engineers along the Broadway. We are also going to be including, I hope, in our capital budget this year, funding for the study of
Yes, smash something, Frank. Smash something. Peacefully.
Happy to say that we're cooperating with our neighbors over at Garwood.
Even though the mic is indicating it's on, they don't have the sound system turned up. It's not coming through any speakers. And they're completely oblivious. I told the cops about it, but they're probably not going to do anything.
And also tonight we will be appointing the new members of the flood committee, and we're very much looking forward to continuing to work with them. Changing topics, I want to give an update on the food waste program at our conservation center. As I said over the last meeting, this has been a source of real frustration, including for our family because we use it. This is a program that started by volunteers in our community. You couldn't compost at home, this was a way to get rid of your food waste. It varied, the demand and the use very quickly outstripped what was there. And this was a very weird case where the company we were working with was not willing to accept more money and add another container. And then we've had some of the service degrade since then, unfortunately. I want to compliment our Department of Public Works Superintendent, Elliott. He's been looking for another solution. We are finalizing the paperwork now for a new food waste vendor. It should be wrapped up in the next week or so. This will be an improvement. We're going to have 2 receptacles at the location. They're going to be picked up once a week. Hopefully that will meet the demand that they're seeing. And they're actually accepting more stuff than our current vendor. So we're going to put out a
No.
inspection sheet.
The mic is only going through the TV. There's a TV, channel 35 locally, broadcasting this now. But the mics are not coming through the speakers. No. It's ridiculous, and they're oblivious.
He is someone who showed tremendous bravery serving the township, placing himself in real danger, we all have tremendous respect for him and the officers that serve this community every day. Congratulations on your retirement for Cranford Communications Officer Jones, as well as to our traffic maintenance foreman, Corbisiero. And thank you for all the work you've done in the township. That's it.
You got more than 5 minutes. What's going on with that, right? Rules for thee, not for me.
Right, as usually happens this time of year, and as I've been saying in the last few meetings, this is the busy time for the finance department in putting together this year's budget. We are we're partway through the process. We did have some discussions last night that focused mainly on the capital budget. We are
Yes.
trying to
Read her lips, Catherine. Read her lips.
maintain our level of debt.
You could translate, put what you're saying in the chat.
Look at what all the wish lists were from the department heads and, kind of sort through what a must-have versus the would like to have versus other items that we can push to future expenses. We are also going to be looking in the coming weeks at the operating budget. There's still some work to do there. We had originally hoped to introduce by the end of March. We are going to push that to early April, which means adopting the budget in early May. Still plenty of
Their
time.
mics don't work. They're not coming through the loudspeaker system at all. They're only going to the TV station.
Several people have reached out with questions. I encourage anybody.
So if a person speaks louder, you hear them better. If they speak quieter, you don't. It's ridiculous.
Reach out.
And they're oblivious.
I did also want to clarify that the items, the capital expenses that are on resolutions this evening for the pool are not coming out of the capital budget for the town. These are coming out of a grant, they're being funded by a grant that will be received to fund.
No, they don't have the loudspeaker system turned on. They probably spent $10,000 or $20,000 for the loudspeaker system. No one bothered to turn it on.
I want to congratulate Janet Swergo with her advancement to executive secretary. She's a tremendous help to the clerk's office, and well done, Janet. I want to wish Ms. Jones and Mr. Copacero a wonderful retirement, and Protect the Fallen News, Godspeed. Thank you. Mr. Slavin?
Good evening, everyone. For those of us who go through the agenda, we'll see several ordinances for public hearing and adoption, and several resolutions that relate to our round four affordable housing obligations. I just want to thank the township professionals who worked very diligently on making sure that these documents were prepared in time for our March 15th deadline to submit them to the state, including the clerk's office, and also express my gratitude to our outside experts, most notably Darlene Green and Mike Edwards, who worked really hard on this last year and this year. We're not done yet, as this is New Jersey, there's more bureaucracy to get through, but we're putting ourselves in really good position to have a great plan and comply with all the regulations going forward. So there'll be more to come on that, but for tonight, it's a big step forward.
Public comments pursuant to the code of the Township of Cranford, Article 1.
Here we go, public comment time.
72-4, persons addressing the township committee shall be about a maximum of 5 minutes for their presentation. And I just want to remind everyone, the township committee respects free speech, including criticism of the elected officials sitting here. But in order to
Make a baby.
maintain an orderly meeting, the township does not allow amplifiers, bullhorns, megaphones, noisemakers, whistles, and any similar sound-producing devices. Those are prohibited.
We can't use sound-produced devices.
Anyone wishing to address the township committee, step forward, without the picture.
Good evening. Joe Colangelo, 310 Prospect Ave.
Can you
Just wanted
hear?
to welcome the Scouts of Troop 80 here tonight. They're here for their citizenship in the Community Merit Badge. I remember when I was in their seats back in 1999, attending the town council meeting with a great citizenship in the community merit badge counselor and a great Cranfordite, Camille Widows, as my counselor. I would just encourage them to take it all in. There are a lot of people who contribute to this town and a lot of people who are here for the right reasons. I remember we talked about flooding in 1999. It was just post-Floyd, so we're still doing it, guys. And Rita LaBruta talked at that meeting as well. And so that's a great Cranfordite who is contributing to keeping our town on the right track. So take it all in, boys. And then for my piece, I would say the lights in 9/11 Memorial Park. There are 3 lights on the further towards the riverside that haven't been lit in a little bit, and maybe we look into that. And then second, for the above, all above, what's the flood? All the above flood strategy, I would once again encourage somebody anytime we can to just start digging. Just do the, I know it sounds so boring and so simple and maybe it wouldn't work, but if we can just start digging and building up the dike by another 6 inches, after a few years, we'll have a taller flood barrier protecting our town. So I would also encourage any scouts in attendance, if they have any thoughts on this town from a scout's eye view, to come forward and share them. Thank you very much.
I put my microphone on the lectern back there. That's why you can hear well, finally. They're talking about something about a dike. Yeah, it's like watching lead paint dry, right?
I would encourage us to start doing it and see if the administration sues us.
Hello, my name is James Colangelo. I live at 310 Prospect Avenue. And the one thing I want to bring to the attention of the council is over by the 9/11 Memorial. When you're crossing over to the First Presbyterian Church, one thing I have noticed is, I don't know if it's like some like weird thing with the light, but cars always just try to get the light whenever there's like the walk sign. And I mean, I love this downtown. I go there, I go to Boy Scouts there, I go to church there, I went there with my friends and family. And I would just say, like, I'm privileged, like I live pretty close to the town, so I have the privilege of walking there, but it has been like a few close calls with my friends, family, sometimes just on my own. So, I mean, I don't know like what exactly like you guys could do, maybe look into like the timing of it, but I just wanted to bring that to the attention. Like, I think it's like, a very safe town, but I mean, nothing good can come of that. So I just wanted to like point that out and say, let's see if we can do anything about that. But other than that, it's like a great downtown. I'm seeing a lot of new places opening, and I know there's like some scaffolding right now, but hopefully that comes down eventually. And yeah, thank you, and have a blessed week.
Mr. Colangelo, can you sign this? Mr. Colangelo, thank you for your observation. I too cross at that intersection multiple times a day. We did reach out to the county, our engineers reached out to the county about adjusting the signalization to allow pedestrians a longer lead time to cross the street, so we should have followed.
Thank you. I did.
By the way, Mayor, as he's coming up, all of your microphones are not coming to the loudspeakers at all, so my audience can't hear anything you say. They're coming to the TV, but not the loudspeakers. If you could turn them up, that would be awesome.
We don't control the air.
This is Will Philly. He's very creative. He's the reason the microphone. I mean, the podium law was passed because he dared to dance as an expression. He didn't stay right next to the podium, so he's now handing out song sheets because he's going to ask everyone to sing "Sweet Caroline."
Mr. Philly, I see a speaker. You've been told not to turn it on.
They said it's against the law to use a speaker to play music or anything else. And the mayor just said he's been warned not to turn the speaker on.
Now, let's get this real quick. So, a whole protest. I had a great trip to DC this weekend and got to go sit on the floor at the Senate and the Congress. And guess what? Their meetings are just like ours. So, pretty similar. And I thought, this type of protest we're doing needs to go all the way to the top. So, our goal is to bring Cranford and the protest we're doing here to the whole country. To make peace is what this country needs. And we're ready to do it with everyone's help and participation. So tonight, we have scheduled a sing-along. I hope everyone knows the lyrics to Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond. You know this, right? Anyways, I've passed out some lyrics. If everyone, we can try to do this together and see if this works. Okay. All right, on 3, 2. Where it began.
I can begin to know when, but then I know it's growing strong. Was in the spring, came the summer, who'd have believed you'd come along? Hands, touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Da, sweet Caroline. This time's never been so good.
So good. So good.
Da, da, da. This is a meeting. This is expression. Ding, 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 ding. Off my shoulders. How can I hurt when holding you? Bop, bop, bop. Warm. Touching warm. Reaching out. Touching me. Touching you. Bop, bop, bop. Sweet Caroline. Da, da, da. Good times never seem so good. Ba, ba, ba. They're not enjoying this. How could they be ignoring this? This is dinner conversation for the next year. Even the township clerk isn't happy. Da, da, da. Seems so good, so good. There's the time. Can you join us? Bet you have a good voice. I feel so free now. God bless you.
Thanks, everyone. We're going to be doing this, everyone here. Please invite everyone. We're going to do this every meeting going forward, and we'll get better and better, and hopefully fill this place up and show a great community, and protest through song, because we need peace.
Peace and freedom. God bless you. Will Philly. That's Will Philly, everybody. Will Philly. Will Philly. Okay, more speakers coming up now. We got more speakers coming up. You got another speaker coming up here.
Oh, it's fine. That's not me, though. That wasn't me. Thank you, though. Right on time.
Is that you? She was just about to dance, too.
I was ready.
Police officer came. He ran over here. Wow. I thought he was going to arrest the guy. There goes his soapbox.
Gina, I saw you over there trying to hold yourself back from tapping your feet. You could have sang along. It's okay.
Look how dour
All
they
right,
look. They're
everybody.
very
My name
dour.
is Jerica Spence. I live in East Orange, New Jersey. I know I'm kind of far away from home, but since I'm in the neighborhood, I might as well, I have a nonprofit. It's called Baba's House. It's a shelter for women and children who are facing crisis situation and need of temporary housing. So right now, I'm just asking that for anyone, I'm looking for investors in opening up my first location. The website is Baba's House, BABASHOUSE.com. Thank you.
More speakers. These are probably local people from Cranford. We do a really good restaurant
Rita
here.
Lubrita, 104 Arlington Road. I wanted to ask if you had a name of the person who put together, it was the Cranford Swim Pool Utility Financial Sustainability Review 2011-2025. There's no name on it, and I personally do not like things with no names on them. I mean, I think there needs to be accountability. I hope your task force people put names on things. So I would like the name because I would like to discuss some of the numbers they have in there are incorrect, as was the Pool Advisory Board presentation. The membership numbers were incorrect because they included the indoor membership. So you were comparing indoor and outdoor to just the outdoor. So that report also, though, interesting enough, suggests that you use the state grant for ADA upgrades. It also suggests that you have a 5-year capital plan, not the Hail Mary that right now Orange is. I mean, those were actually Commissioner Curran's words at the pool advisory meeting, is that Orange right now is a Hail Mary. So I guess my question is if you think Centennial will open again, why are we blowing this grant money, $750,000, and actually it's more than that right now, on Orange? $582,500 of the $750 is for a parking lot and paving the parking lot and concrete around the pool. So we're paving a parking lot that's used, for the pool 3 months out of the year and for pickup drop-off for Orange, but that could really be a gravel lot. That money would be better spent paving at Centennial. And the concrete, that's $200,000 expense. Centennial, I don't know if you've looked recently, but it's all concrete. So it may need some repair, but I don't think it needs $200,000 worth. So my point is, this has been done all, I don't want to say the bad word, but it's been done all backwards, okay? All this cost stuff should have been done before you decided which pool to open. As far as the, and also $52,000 tonight in painting. The locker rooms at Centennial are all painted. They're ADA compatible. That's $52,000 down the drain. So Mayor Prunty, you mentioned that the group was diverse. I looked at it. There's no one under the age of 35, and there's no one older, one person who's retirement age. There are no retirees on the committee, and there are no finance people on the committee, okay? So the first question I have is, what is the cost to decommission Centennial Avenue Pool, to remove the concrete and fill it in? So I think you need to answer, again, here we go, backwards, but I think you need to answer that question before you go off and say, let's see, I want an Indy 500 racetrack here. Or, maybe, could it be a soccer turf field with lights? Maybe it could be a hockey rink. Or, let's see, mini golf. I mean, all of these are suggestions, right? But if it's going to cost us $3 million to decommission a pool and risk contamination, what are we doing? So again, I have real concern about how we make decisions around here without the financial analysis to back it up. So I would like the answer to that question. At one time, $300,000 was thrown out, but a flat parking lot is $300,000. So the other question is, you should compare and contrast all of those to the pool. You shouldn't just rule out the pool. So any suggestion should be contrasted to the pool. And if this is not political, why not price out how far the 750 would go at Centennial? My guess is you're going to have a surplus for the humidifier, and you wouldn't have a Hail Mary.
She went over time.
So you would have money in reserve if you use.
They didn't stop her. They didn't stop her.
Any other public comment?
Jim Carvalho, Cranford. Hoping for an adult, but stuck with another dolt. This year, this government did something it does not often do. This year, this government declined to promote its deputy. Last year, Paul Gallo served as vice chairman of this committee as deputy to the corrupt Terrence Curran. This year, Gallo again serves as vice chairman, this time as deputy to the corrupt Kathleen Prunty. That's unfortunate. While his so-called superiors display their stupidity, Gallo steers clear of the claptrap his so-called superiors court. He knows when to keep his mouth shut, something his so-called superiors are pathologically incapable of. So why wasn't Gallo promoted? Maybe the machine kept him out. Maybe the man chickened out. Either way, it's a clue he won't be running for re-election. That too would be unfortunate, because around here, Gallo strikes me as the proverbial adult in the room. But alas, hoping for an adult, we're stuck with another dolt. As I just said,
He's referring
last
to
year
the mayor.
Gallo served as deputy to this guy, the corrupt coward Curran, who never misses a chance to put his foot in his mouth and his fingerprints on the fuck-up. Just witness two of his recent actions. Banging his toy hammer like a toddler in its high chair, Curran claimed jurisdiction over private citizens while simultaneously claiming he has no jurisdiction over other private citizens, his own goons, as they physically harass a private citizen during an official meeting here. As I said that night, Curran's colonel should try that with me. Recently, the corrupt coward Curran even resuscitated the con, first concocted by Prunty, of hurling the word slander in an attempt to silence critics. I'll say to you what I said to her. If you believe you've been slandered, make your move. I will happily repeat everything I've said under oath. Of course, when I do, everyone on this dais, your predecessors, your underlings, and your overlords, especially Cooper and Kowalski, will be required to do the same. Discovery will be a delight. We hear a lot about the so-called Dr. Curran, but that title, linked with your behavior here, qualifies you as an idiot savant. Now, alas, we're back to the most hideous harridan to ever set seat on this dais, Kathleen Prunty, who ran the most incompetent administration I've seen here in the past 10 years. Prunty, of course, has spent her life sucking the taxpayer's tit as boss of the machine shell company known as the DMC. It still pays. Like that other machine shell company, the Planning Board, the DMC should be dissolved and abolished. Over the coming months, I'll remind the public of the Prunty record to educate newcomers with the news I've broken here. For now, I'll remind the public of her most despicable machine maneuver, the removal of Cranford's last honorable mayor, the hapless Tom Hannon, at the hands of the corrupt Cooper and Kowalski. As a sidebar, to smile at the opportunity I was given again to publicly shame that shyster, this machine's boss, Ryan Cooper, at Curran's last meeting as mayor. The meeting was a recess, but I hear my comments have been posted online. As I've proven here again and again for a decade, this machine is lawless, incompetent, and corrupt. That makes Prunty a fraud, a fool, and a fiend. Now I'll close on a lighter note. For the past year, I've enjoyed watching our neighborhood fox. I'm not referring to the girl with the fetching smile, but the four-legged fox who acts like he owns the joint. He's become so cocksure that he routinely stops traffic. I once watched him saunter diagonally across the busy intersection of Orange and Riverside, backing up traffic with his head held high. I watched him do the same at the busier intersection of Orange and Springfield, where he brought rush hour traffic to a halt with his highfalutin tone. Last time I saw him, though, he was hobbling along on three legs, a big shot brought down by human nature. When I saw that fox in that sorry state, I was reminded of my old drinking buddy, the writer, Jim Harrison. On our monthly tours of Tucson's titty bars, Jim would regale me with tales of his encounters with various fauna, human and otherwise. He once told me about one of his encounters with a fox, a story that also appears in one of his books. Here's how Harrison handled it. I hit a fox, swerved to a halt, and beat its skull in with a tire iron because its back was broken and one hind leg dragged askew. They could not learn the world wasn't theirs. I'll repeat that last line for emphasis. They could not learn the world wasn't theirs. The same could be said for this rotten machine.
Wow. Yeah, I'll go next. And it's really sad how you could be enjoying the creativity of the people in the sing-along, Mayor and everyone else, but you're not enjoying the creativity of it. You're very dour and bitter. You make Scrooge look like Jim Carrey. All right, so good evening, Mayor, Karen, Kathleen, Miller, Prunty, and members of the Cranford Council. My first time here. Hello, everyone at home on YouTube. My name is Leroy Truth of Leroy Truth Investigations, and you can subscribe to me on YouTube and Facebook. Tonight I rise, or rather I remain carefully handcuffed invisibly to this podium because you, Kathleen Prunty, invited me to come here today with your actions and the actions of the board here. Because according to the newest Cranford rule book written by Mayor Karen Kathleen Sidney Miller Prunty, apparently wandering 3 feet to the left or the right or an inch or two from the lectern could cause the complete collapse of civilization as we know it, and possibly collapse the time-space continuum, because they have this new law that you can't go anywhere except be right here at the podium. Otherwise, you'll be arrested. So I must not move, I must not roam. This sounds like a Dr. Seuss book right now. I must remain planted like a decorative fern in Mayor Karen Miller Sidney Edna Ethel Prunty's government office home. Because as Mayor Karen Kathleen Miller Prunty reminded us, and these are your words, this is not a karaoke bar. This is not a nightclub. This is not a comedy club. Your words. I saw this in a video last week. Well, because people choose to use comedy or sing, for God's sakes, that's a creative expression. And now look at everyone's ignoring us except the lobotomized coma that Mayor Prunty is in here. She looks into the abyss. Well, Mayor Karen Kathleen Edna Ethel Miller Prunty, I regret to inform you, the Constitution does not contain a no karaoke clause. The First Amendment protects not just what we say, but how we say it. Speech can be spoken, speech can be sung, speech can be danced. Speech can even be a cake that says Mayor Karen Kathleen Miller Sidney Ethel Eleanor Prunty hates the First Amendment. Vanilla sponge, chocolate layers, anchovy mayonnaise icing, yum. Because the First Amendment protects expression, not polite whispers delivered perfectly still like a museum statue. But tonight, Cranford, New Jersey seems to have invented a brand new rule. First, Americans must remain handcuffed invisibly to this podium, which is not a podium, by the way. Get your words right. Lawyer, get on the ball here. Slattery, that's a podium that you are on. It's an elevated piece here. This is a lectern. If you're going to violate our rights, you might as well do it with the right language, right? Because the First Amendment protects expression, not polite whispers. But tonight, Cranford seems to have invented this brand new rule here. So with this, to remind the Mayor, Kathleen Prunty, and all of the people here, the administrators, commissioners, I'm going to remind you, Mikey, I'm going to remind you with the Star Spangled Banner. So please everyone rise for the Star Spangled Banner. Am I breaking some law?
You're violating the bylaws.
What's the bylaw? I can't play the Star Spangled Banner?
Making device.
This is a musical instrument.
This has to be removed.
Here, you don't have to remove. I'm going to put it here. So, under threat of arrest, I was just stopped from playing the Star Spangled Banner. God bless you all who stood up here, and not a single one of these unconstitutional, violating, hating free speech, hating creative expression, dour, sour-faced commissioners, including the mayor, respect our country enough and the freedoms enough to let the Star Spangled Banner echo throughout these should-be hallowed halls. I'm disgusted. You sent men with guns over to me as I'm playing the Star Spangled Banner to remind you of your oath to the Constitution, to your freedom. What do you have to say, Kathleen Miller, Ethel Edna Prunty, to that? You sent men with guns to stop me from playing the Star Spangled Banner. What's your comment? Say that again, we couldn't hear you. You asked me to stop playing our beloved national anthem. That is a sin. That was vile. It was, no, I got 11 seconds. Don't rush me, lady. Don't rush me. I got 8 seconds, 7, 6. God bless America. Freedom is dead in Cranford. I'll be back. Thank you. God bless you. God bless everyone here. God bless you. Shame on the police here, too.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, committee. As you know, I don't ever give my name. I never give my name, and I never give my address. I don't want to be dealing with the madness. The road I live on, the part of town I'm from, is it even this one? Is he rich? Is he scum? I'm just here to drop bombs and shoot missiles at corrupt government officials. I'll be taking names, creating change, and what the heck, you might be writing me a couple checks. Think I'm not serious? Or I'm delirious? You're the ones whose actions are nefarious. What's his name? We don't know. Put me down as good citizen or put me down as John Doe. You don't need my name. You don't need my address. You don't need to know any of my status. How dare you pry and always try? All the time, government trying to take what's mine. Can you make sense of this? How that information's personal and sensitive? And I'm never going to exchange the Fourth to exercise my First Amendment. I had to try to lighten the mood for myself because of that disgusting display that you just did, Mayor.
Disgusting.
You just tried to have this man removed for playing the Star-Spangled Banner.
Call it noise.
Too much patriotism. Too much patriotism in a council meeting. That's what that is. A speaker cannot disrupt the meeting during his speaking time. When you guys pull this shit, you're disrupting the meeting. When you call a recess during Mr. Thilly's time, or when you have the police come over to him because he's playing the Star-Spangled Banner, you are disrupting the speaker's time. It's amazing that you don't understand that. And under the guise of orderly business. So wait, I pull out a phone, I can play music? I can play music on my phone and sing? No. So I can't use a phone. So phones have been banned, everybody. Please understand what these bylaws have done. You cannot take a phone and play maybe minutes from the last meeting. Actually, when I came up to the lectern, you said, does anybody else want to address the public? It's actually the words that you used. And then when I addressed the public, you had this whole big thing about me, addressing the public. So phones are banned. If I wanted to play minutes from the last meeting to reference the moment that I'm talking about, can't do it because it's a sound system. So you have banned phones, is what happened with your bylaws. So I hope everybody knows that if you want to use your phone as any part of your public comment, you can't do it here in Cranford. Where the fuck is the accountability? I swear this shit disgusts me. This shit disgusts me. You know, it's funny, that meeting where none of you would even answer how your day was. Well, let's try it again. Through the chair to Commissioner Andrews. How was your day? Through the chair to Mr. Gallo. How was your day?
They should have to resign immediately.
Through the chair to Mr. Kern. How are you? Through the chair to Commissioner Black. How are you? Thank you for answering. You know that video where nobody would answer me? That had over 100,000 views on YouTube with like 1.8 thousand comments talking about how disgusting of a representation that this committee is representing in terms of government, in terms of other municipalities across the country, across the state. I mean, people from all over the world. You are showing them an example of too much patriotism. Too much patriotism is not okay. Not okay.
Yes, Bart.
The best moment
You're right, Bart.
of this whole meeting so far was when Mr. Philly did his sing-along. Since you guys operate like robots, don't expect the public to operate like robots. We're not drones. We have thoughts and feelings, and we choose to express ourselves in a way that we choose. We're not robots. You guys are robots. You guys are robots. Yeah, Commissioner Andrews, you're a robot. No, listen. You are not the presider of the meeting. You are not the presider of the meeting. You can keep your mouth quiet. Don't disrespect the mayor. She knows how to run a meeting. That is disrespectful to do to the mayor.
Anyone else wish to address?
Shame on you, Commissioner Andrews. That was disgusting.
That's Brian Andrews. This is crazy. Another town that hates the Constitution, so it's the mayor, every single commissioner. Thanks for joining. Please smash that like button.
Gary Morris, Fanwood. Mayor Prunty, your current Twitter X account, or whatever they call it now, has the statement, "I am woman, watch me vote." I have watched you vote in several of these meetings. I remember the time you recused yourself from voting because the committee was deciding on your health insurance benefits. You recused yourself because it was an obvious conflict of interest. Since the vote directly involved you receiving a benefit, it would not be right for you to vote for your own insurance, so you did the right thing, which is great. Shouldn't you and Mr. Curran also have recused yourselves from voting on giving contracts to Ryan Cooper's law firm, since he was in charge of the Cranford Democratic Committee collecting the campaign money for your campaign? He is also a donor to the committee that funded your campaign. Isn't it true that you ran up massive campaign debts that were not paid off until after the election? Your campaign's promotional company did not get paid until the Democratic committee swooped in a week after the election to contribute to your campaign to pay off your bills. How can the citizens of Cranford trust both of you with their tax money if you overspend on your own campaign? The numbers I presented in the last meeting were not just pulled out of the air, as you said, Mayor Prunty. The donation facts I presented came directly from the New Jersey election website that everybody is free to look up on their own. Mr. Curran, you somehow thought it was hilarious that I was pointing out what I believed to be conflicts of interest regarding campaign financing. Rather than respond to the facts I presented, you said federal politicians take money from other countries and companies, like somehow that gives you a license to do as you please. You know what really is hilarious? Bob Menendez probably still thinks he did nothing wrong because he believes everybody else is accepting gold bars for helping special interest groups. Elected officials should be held to higher standards. When you were a police officer, would a bribe be acceptable if other cops were taking bribes? As a doctor, is it okay for you to violate HIPAA rules if other doctors are doing likewise? Of course not. Mr. Curran, what happened to your X account? Perhaps you can share with the public why it is no longer accessible.
Seeing none, I will close the public comments portion of the meeting and move on to minute approval.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes of the workshop meeting of January 20th, 2026, the official meeting of January 20th, 2026, and the official meeting of February 3rd, 2026.
A second.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna go outside here. Okay. Here, come with us here.
if you were to take your phone out, you were talking about minutes, I don't know exactly, but I believe it. You wanted to talk minutes and say, as a reminder, you said last week, blah, 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 and you made a recording. The problem is, like, the person in class, I don't know, like, you can't put on the music, you can't bring out a violin, you can't bring on things like that.
It doesn't say that. Like, I'm really disappointed in you, sir. Sergeant, I thought
Yeah.
you were going to protect my rights. You came in aggressively to be ready to arrest me.
A lot of the cops, like, we weren't here to arrest you, just so you know. He wasn't coming to arrest you.
So if I didn't stop him, what would happen?
We were gonna ask you to walk out because they don't want any noisemakers inside of this meeting. So if you said you kept playing, we would have asked you to please walk out here because inside of that room, their bylaws is they don't want any music being played.
But that's not a noisemaker. That's a musical
I'm
instrument.
just telling you what was happening.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
wasn't coming to arrest you.
So are you calling the Star Spangled Banner noise?
Yeah.
That was the Star Spangled
Sir,
Banner.
we're not trying to, we understand what you guys are trying to do. We're just saying, it is music, and we understand that. He wasn't coming to arrest you, he wasn't coming to intimidate you.
But
He was just asking.
But here's a very important legitimate question. Here's a very important legitimate question here. When you sing, there was a room full of people singing. Yeah. What's different than our voices would, in that same exact vein, be considered noisemakers? There was no electricity in this thing.
You can sing, that's why when Will was singing earlier, there was no issue. You understand? You're other.
What's the difference between this and that?
What I'm upset about is that you guys didn't use your own discretion. This is the most peaceful kind of like thing someone could do to play the Star Spangled Banner. So you didn't use like your own discretion. Because all of this is left to interpretation. The way they've got it all out. I mean, now you're saying maybe I could play minutes on the phone, but any sound that's coming from the
You'd have to go
phone.
with that. I'm saying, I don't know, is what I'm saying.
Well, you can try. If they warn you, then
And just like you were saying about discretion, we don't come up and say, let's go get this guy, okay? If they give you guys warnings that you guys can't play things in their bylaws, whether you agree with the bylaws or not, I totally understand, but given their bylaws, once they give you guys a couple warnings to stop whatever it is that they want you to stop, then they ask us to have you guys removed. We don't sit there and go,
No, I
whatever the case may be. I'm just saying.
I understand the process.
We're not trying to come at you guys.
I understand the process. But in that instance, she didn't give like the 3 warnings. Like that's their procedure to remove someone who's violating the bylaws. They give them a warning. They give them 2. She just pointed to you guys. You guys just came right
I
over.
didn't hear if she did. I heard one. I don't know. I wasn't. I can't hear everything that's going on.
But here's the thing, a musical instrument has not been delineated as a noisemaker. Because, I'm glad we're having this dialogue to be able to talk about this.
See, my problem is they didn't even follow their own procedures to remove someone who's violating the bylaws.
Right.
They didn't do a 3 warning process.
And you went to grab my keyboard from me.
Any noisemaking device can be removed without.
Can my larynx be removed? There's no difference between me singing, my larynx. Is there any difference between singing and blowing something through a musical instrument?
The way the bylaws are written, there's a difference between
I read the bylaws, they're not.
singing and
It doesn't delineate that, Sergeant. It doesn't delineate that. That's what I'm saying is you enforce something that wasn't in the bylaws.
The way I interpret the bylaws is if
That was a
That's the issue.
interpretation.
If you guys have issues with the bylaws of unclarification, you can let us know, and we can, or let them know, on, not tonight, obviously, and we can figure out maybe a noisemaker that's listed as a noisemaker, which with me and him means the instrument you have. You guys might think that noisemaker doesn't mean that. However, let's get some clarification, and we can figure out maybe exactly
I'm
what
gonna
it
be
is, but
dead,
that's not for
I'm gonna
tonight.
be dead serious with you.
Go ahead.
The cops that I spoke to before in Cranford, they're like all cool, like good dudes, like good people. And there's a moment as I'm filming, you guys go up to him, and I'm like, in that moment, I'm like, this fucking sucks. Because you guys are gonna be like, it's not a good look for the Cranford police to just, like, the mayor barks, and then you just go, like.
You don't work for her. That's the thing. You work for us and the Constitution.
One of the things I thought was good about Cranford was that there was like a separate, like you guys were separate from the council. You're not just willing to do their bidding, just to do their dirty work, and I believe that was, your discretion. I thought would kick
We're here
in.
to keep peace, that's all we are. We are good dudes.
I don't want you to create peace. I want you to protect your constitutional
Protect my
rights.
rights.
Right.
they're interpreting you guys violating the bylaws.
But they were wrong. And I wanted you to acknowledge they were wrong.
They're interpreting it.
So
what is their
That's not our
recourse
fault.
when they're determining that somebody's violating? Who do they call? They can't just sit there.
But you have discretion, correct? You have discretion. You could decide in that
But
moment
we're
that
not gonna sit
maybe
there and say, hold on, Mayor, we actually don't agree. I'm just saying hypothetically. and then just pause, because our interpretation of the bylaws, just like your interpretation of the bylaws, just like their interpretation of the bylaws, might all be different. So if I'm sitting there going, this is not what I consider to be breaking it, but they do, and you don't, and someone else does, and someone else doesn't, we can't overcome that. If they are in charge of the meeting, if they think that the bylaws have been broken or you guys violated them in any way, unfortunately, we're here to keep the peace, so there's not a disruption of everything the meeting.
But me playing the Star Spangled Banner was not a disruption.
Star Spangled Banner.
And you should have not enforced something that was not supposed to be
The music
enforced.
is the problem, it's not the Star Spangled Banner. If you would have sang it, I think you probably would have been fine. I'm not, you know.
Well, the whole room sang, and I was playing an instrument. It is not a noisemaker, it is an instrument.
That's what I'm, it's not a noisemaker.
I understand.
It's not a whistle,
Okay,
it's
so
not.
possibly in there, I know,
Well,
we're talking about a device that's making noise, whether that's a speaker, a drum set.
our voices in that same vein make noise. You know.
I understand what you're saying. I do understand.
So if we were to do a redo on that, would you do anything differently?
No, it's up to them. If they think that you're violating them,
I don't know whether you believe it or not, but
that's when you step in.
But you know that that's not a noisemaker. That no one has ever called me playing. No one has ever called me playing the melodica. I play at Star Spangled Banner and all meetings. Right. And no one has ever called it a noisemaker. So it is not a noisemaker. A whistle is a noisemaker.
And that's my point. I think maybe needs to be some more extra clarification moving forward, whether your definition of a noisemaker and the township's definition of a noisemaker might be different. So maybe that needs to be clarified moving forward, that a noisemaker to them might mean any instrument.
But you realize how crazy it is that we're talking. Any other meeting you can go to and you can blow a whistle. You can play a stereo.
I believe you, but I don't know. I've never been to another.
See, but I want you to challenge them next time, and let's pause the meeting for a minute, and let's actually talk about it instead of this guy going immediately aggressive, tries to grab my melodica.
I understand, but the thing is, it's that conversation that you want to be done, I don't disagree, but it's not for right now.
It should have been.
That conversation is for behind closed doors, and we can say.
Why? I wanted to be transparent.
I know, but then we can come out and talk about it, but it should be, what is the definition of a noisemaker? If that's what you guys don't think that is a noisemaker.
I'm offended that she called my keyboard a noisemaker.
This was a productive conversation, but I think we're gonna have to agree to disagree here.
I don't think it's productive at all. I just wish you would use your own intelligence, because I know you're both intelligent, and to say, this is not a noisemaker, no different than the voice. And then, but she was wrong. So I want you to be not order followers. I want you to be, it was making music.
She was at least wrong.
I could say you speaking is making noise.
On the procedure, how you remove someone. Like if that's the rules that they have to do the 3-1. And that didn't even happen. So regardless of, we don't have to argue about the bylaws and constitutional rights we have and this and that, they didn't even follow their own procedures.
I didn't hear all three, but it's not my determination to, sometimes you don't hear everything. So she may have done the three.
She didn't.
I'm not saying she didn't, I'm just saying, I don't know if she did.
But I was, stop calling it noisemaker. That is a musical instrument. Well, lastly, I want to finish with this. Is number one, it's good that we're talking in a dialogue and no one's getting tased or arrested. But, I want to share with you, a musical instrument is not a noisemaker. No different than a voice is a noisemaker. So
again, I think it's interpretation. They may think it is, whether I do, he does.
but I want you to think for yourselves. They can think my black jacket is a noisemaker or my red tie is too loud. Oh my God, it's offending their sensibilities. Are you going to, grab my? But I want to utilize these perspectives to make a point.
Does your instrument make noise? I'm just asking.
No.
What does it make?
It makes beautiful, melodious music. It's even called a melodica because it's so melodious.
Defined as some type of noise. It might be a beautiful noise. But
Singing is the same. There is no delineation between singing.
But you're not making it. That's from your voice. I don't want to argue over a noisemaker. I understand what you're trying to say.
I mean, this is like a really crazy conversation right now. It's an instrument. It's not one of those things for the New Year's. But even then, any other meeting that I've gone to, that we've gone to, you can, if you want to express yourself, you do it. But this was the Star Spangled Banner, for God's sakes.
If you guys want, write an email to them asking for clarification of what a noisemaker is, because right now you don't agree that your instruments are noisemakers. And then maybe next week they'll put something out that is good to go, and maybe they say it isn't good to go. But
It's not a bad suggestion, but it's not gonna do
And also, you can bring up the, if you don't think that you were warned 3 times, I'm just saying, that's, you can bring that up too. And just say,
Let's face it, it's a good suggestion, but it's not gonna do anything with them. I mean, they're just, thick-headed.
But you know, when I was playing the Star Spangled Banner, it's the last thing for now, I was not making noise. I was creating patriotic music. And I mean, that's obvious to anyone with 3 brain cells.
I agree, it was patriotic music. But I
And the
also
Star
agree
Spangled
that-
Banner is not noise. Can we agree upon that?
No, it is making noise. As much as it's patriotic music and it was done nice.
So you're saying the Star Spangled Banner is
I'm not
noise?
saying anything, I'm just saying,
You just did.
was there noise?
No, there was music.
Okay, well, music, noise, it's up to interpretation.
I don't think anyone in the history of our country has ever called the Star Spangled Banner noise. And I'm disappointed because you seem like a soulful
It's
person.
negative noise, it was making a noise. If I stop my foot on the ground, it's making a noise.
You're talking with me now. That's a noise.
Well,
Is
yes,
it?
But this is we're talking about maker, not our voices, not natural things.
Our voices make sound.
Okay, sorry.
All right, and this is going in circles, but I'm really disappointed. I mean, the sergeant was very aggressive, very aggressive to me, and he tried to, you tried to literally steal my melodica from me. Oh yeah, I would like an apology. That's what I would like for doing what you did and stopping me from continuing my playing of the Star Spangled Banner, and also for aggressively grabbing at my melodica. You're going to take it away from me. And I was ready. I said, okay, you're coming at me. You got a gun. I'm going to put this down. And you came to grab it from me. Like, what are you doing? Very disappointed. Very, very disappointed, ladies and gentlemen. Here, we're back. So, the Star Spangled Banner has never been called noise in the history of our country. This is another first right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, I'm disgusted, and to say, well, it creates noise. Are they out of their freaking minds? I mean, this is, and they're parsing, well, it's a noisemaker. Our voices.
I'm truly shocked that happened. I did not think they were gonna do that. Will did a song, you're playing a song.
Right.
You know, I actually thought that, like, playing the instrument would have been fine. I thought that was like one of the hacks,
Right.
like around there, because
There was nothing in the
it's not a
so-called,
noisemaker.
rules that you can't play a musical instrument because there is no delineation from a voice or a melodica, period. So,
And not for nothing, I don't like to curse at a meeting. I only curse when I'm upset, and that was upsetting. I was upset, so I let a couple curse words go, I feel like in general it's more effective to not use curses, but when you're fed up and you're just upset, you let one go kind of thing.
all right. This is the second time in a row that I was stopped from playing the Star Spangled Banner at an American meeting. Is this insane? This is mind-blowing.
Too much patriotism.
And did anyone stand up in the commissioners or the mayor when I asked people to stand up?
None of them stood up.
Right, that's what my specific question, did the mayor or the commissioners? But some of the audience members just stand
of the
up in
audience
respect
members
for the Star Spangled Banner. So you just seen Iran right here in Cranford. Iran right here in Cranford. What is the military fighting for and dying for when our rights are being parsed and we're like, well, let's play with words. Let's call anything we don't like a noisemaker. I mean, so people were clapping. That was a noisemaker. And I heard someone burp. I didn't see the police go up to them. They made noise. That could have been offensive to some. I even heard someone give some gaseousness. I didn't see the police rush them. And that sergeant, he was playing like he did nothing wrong. And I don't know if you saw it, and I think you were manning my camera, but he aggressively came at me, and he went to grab my keyboard from me.
Yes.
I wouldn't let him take it. I didn't take my keyboard. And at that point, I'm not going to challenge this with men with guns ready to arrest me. As soon as they said that, okay, I'm going to put the keyboard down, and then, you saw that. It was documented for the whole world. Mikey saw, his audience sees it right here. Make sure to subscribe to
And a
Mikey.
speaker cannot disrupt a meeting.
No,
That's the other thing, the speaker cannot disrupt a meeting during his speaking time.
You can't disrupt the meeting during your own speaking time. Because it's no different than trying to bite your teeth.
See, the fact that they try to claim like orderly business and shit like that during your speaking time is not accurate. They're disrupting the meeting to do that, to violate your rights. They're disrupting the meeting, and then they're saying that you're disrupting the meeting.
Right. For those who just joined us, I was almost arrested for playing the Star Spangled Banner during my 5-minute public comment time. And if I didn't stop when I did, they would have taken me out in handcuffs. And I mean, this needs to go viral, everybody. This is like the flag waving moment in Edison, New Jersey. It's exactly like that.
It's wild. I was not prepared for that. I didn't think that would happen.
No, in a million years, I didn't think that would happen.
We were trying to bring love and lightness and joy.
And patriotism.
Patriotism,
Right.
you know?
And they look like, oh, especially the mayor. And I really hope she gets the help she needs because she's a very sour, dour person.
She's like the HOA, like mayor. Like, this is like the housing authority.
Right.
shit.
Like, oh, you walked on a place and there's 3 blades of grass. You didn't pick them up after you walked on them. That's her attitude here. How much battery you got? Yeah, you got a little bit.
If I take this out, well, I have 5%.
Yeah, battery. It's got 5%.
End this in a minute, anyway.
Yeah, so we're wrapping it up, but make this go viral. And we're going to, Aria, if you're still watching this, Aria is my incredible, extraordinary video editor. What a good man he is. He is a heart of gold, and man, he is a good man. He's a great man and a great editor. And Aria, can you start working on this ASAP? And to bring it down to the speakers, you know, Mikey and myself, and also some of the other dynamic speakers that were there. They were great. And the main focus is me almost getting arrested for playing the Star Spangled Banner, and the mayor calling me playing the Star Spangled Banner on a melodious instrument that, ironically, is called a melodica. Melodious.
Somebody just said you should have played more Neil Diamond.
Right, I could have played Sweet Caroline and be fine.
Neil Diamond's more popular than the
Thank you, Aria.
Spangled Banner in Brantford.
Right.
What is that?
So I could have played Sweet Caroline. They would say, oh, that's not noise. That's Sweet Caroline. But this is the first time in history, you witnessed it, ladies and gentlemen, that the Star Spangled Banner was called noise.
That's definitely the first time in history that the Star Spangled Banner got dipped in the blood.
Almost 250 years, 249.99997 years.
See, the other thing is, if you were on the council, why wouldn't you want to hear that?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to hear that?
And it didn't even stand up.
It's baffling.
And we had, in a million years, we would have not thought in a million years that the mayor thought that the Star Spangled Banner was noise. And here's the problem with police, is they just jump right in. They don't think. As you said, they have their discretion. Think. It's like, well, this man is playing the Star Spangled Banner. It's not noise.
Like if I was a police officer and I really cared about doing, and I'm not saying that they don't really care about doing a good job and everything like that, I would never want to pull someone out of the room for playing the Star Spangled Banner. I personally would use my discretion and say, I'm not getting in the middle of this.
Right, they could have done that. But there are 2 types of police officers. There are conformists and moralists. Conformists will do what they are told, regardless of what is right. I'm going to say that one more time. This is for Aria, for the editing. There are 2 types of police officers. There's conformists and there are moralists. A conformist will do whatever they are told, regardless of what is right. Think of the guy with the beard, I mean the mustache of the 1940s. Then there are moralists who will do whatever is right, regardless of what they are told. And these police officers were conformists, and that's where so many police officers are. Think for yourself, use discretion, use your own intelligence, and I want you to develop police officers, for the good police officers out there, constitutional boundaries that are unbreakable. You could be told by the President of the United States, by a senator, or by this very sour, dour mayor, Kathleen Miller, Avis, Ethel, Edna, Eleanor, Stacy, Prunty, and that they would say, no, I'm not going to do that. It violates their constitutional rights. We're talking about noisemakers when I'm playing the Star Spangled Banner.
An instrument is not a noisemaker. It's an instrument.
Right, it's an instrument.
It's different.
Right.
That's why they call it an instrument.
Right, right. A whistle, for example, would be a noisemaker.
Not to mention, we're making noise right now.
Yes.
Like, what?
Every sound, you know, in the big picture.
It could apply to anything that is, we're noisemakers right now.
Right.
So, it's a little ridiculous.
Yes.
It's unfortunate.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so take care, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Subscribe to Social Justice Water Pipe.
Yeah, if you guys are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate all of you guys. And we'll see you on the next one.
All right, and ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining today. God bless you. God bless Mikey. And make sure to subscribe to Social Justice Water Pipe. And this video's got to go viral. Never before has a man been threatened with arrest, and they were going to remove me if I didn't stop playing the Star Spangled Banner in an American city, in an American public meeting. This is disgusting, vile, extreme constitutional shredding. It's like they put the Constitution in a Vitamix and a blender and a roller and then lit it on fire. So I'm Leroy Truth Investigations. It was inhuman. And God bless you all. And end all humanity there, and not humanity, end all immunity. I misread that. End all immunity. Thanks for joining us, Leroy. They are not going to like the noise of redress. No, they won't. Frank Pants, great work, Leroy. Modern day patriot. God bless you. Thanks for your support. Illuminati user, EU Forso. NZI Kiwi. God bless you. Good to see you. AB Designs, please subscribe to AB Designs now. And as soon as you're done with this live stream, also subscribe to Scalzo Photo, the Exposure Report, and Garden State Accountability, and of course Social Justice Water Pipe. And Patricia Wilson, always great to see you, Patricia Wilson, and Gio, and What's Too Much, and Jody, and thanks for being a member, Jody, and George Daly, thanks for being members. And consider a membership. And important announcement, they're going to be convening a grand jury on March 30th to see if they indict me on false felony aggravated assault against a police officer from the Brady Giglio list cop, Lieutenant Glenn Gaston, who purposely, intentionally fell when he just did it. And he said that I struck him in the upper body forcefully, caused him to fall. Complete lie. Video proves it. So stay tuned for much more. Please share this video. Please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And stay tuned for much more. God bless.